The last time an event was held at this rink in Toronto was almost 4 months ago, and it featured the Toronto Maple Leafs farm team, the Marlies. Now, this arena and the surrounding area most likely will be transformed into a hub that will host the NHL's top athletes. With Toronto and Edmonton still expected to be named the hub cities, the Western Conference teams will practice and play at the Oilers rink at Rogers Place. The Eastern Conference teams will practice at the Coca-Cola Coliseum in Toronto.
Then there's the huge Intercare Center where they can set off all sorts of, I'm sure, pop-up restaurants and stuff for the players. There's Hotel X there. That'll be the primary hub here in Toronto. Scotiabank Arena, I assume, will be the host for all the games, and you could have 2-3 games throughout the day at that rink.
And just a short drive from where the Eastern teams will be competing is the Rogers Center, where the Jays will begin training camp next week after getting clearance to come north from the federal government. Now, Jays players are expected to arrive in Toronto over the weekend, and the team's president says they had to jump over a lot of hurdles in order to bring the teams back to Canada from Florida, a state that for the 10th straight day has reported more than 5,000 new COVID-19 cases. But the team is preparing the Rogers Center to make sure the players and staff are safe.
The modifications are, everything from, we're using 3 different locker rooms, 4 different locker rooms. There's social distancing in the locker rooms. Every other sink is taped up. All the toiletries are taken out. So there's a lot of modifications for safety and health.
Canadian Major League Soccer teams were supposed to be heading to Florida this week to get ready for its return tournament that starts on July 8th. But the Vancouver Whitecaps have postponed their flight because of inconclusive COVID-19 tests. And Toronto FC, they were supposed to leave today, but the club has issued a statement saying they need to complete more COVID-19 tests, so they won't be leaving until Saturday at the earliest. The Raptors are already in Florida, and fan favorite Pascal Siakam admits it's not easy being in a state where the cases are skyrocketing.
Obviously, it's tough, seeing the cases rise and different situations in different states. Obviously, Florida is one of them that's, pretty high at the moment. But I think teams and especially us out here, we try to do our best, making sure that, we're not really involved with the public, making sure that we stay in hotels, and the team has been doing a fantastic job in terms of making sure that we kind of isolate it.
And in football news, Washington's NFL team is finally reviewing their name. After years of public pressure that their name and logo was viewed as racist, the Washington Redskins announced today that they would finally look to change their name. This also follows weeks of sponsors threatening to pull their funding if the name wasn't changed. For City News in Toronto, I'm Lindsay Dunn.